Hello, here's a video that I made a few years ago. The video is titled 6 Hours of Battlefield Bad Company 2. There's a cold front blowing in. There's a lot of leaves falling. And might be like the first cold day of the year. So what about this video? It's sort of like a really long, one of those videos that's like, they have like 12 hours of rain sounds, and they even have one that's like a train going through like a blizzard for 12 hours. And those are sort of like, I don't know if it's meditation or like like relaxing sounds. Anyways, I really like the soundtrack of this, so I'll unmute it in a second. I have 10 other tabs open in my browser. I'm not using the YouTube app so that I can zoom in. Here's the 6-hour version. There's a 12-hour version that has different footage, I think. And I don't know. I think there's a website with the statistics. I added in some links for the highlights so that the video would be short. In my opinion, the two greatest games ever made are on PlayStation 3, GTA 4, and BFBC 2. That's this Battlefield Bad Company 2. I suppose I'll just get to it. So here's the parts of the video. It's sort of like a commando mode, not to be confused with in Battlefield 4. They have commander mode, where it's just looking at the map, observing where the enemies are at, and calling in airstrikes and different things like that. Okay, so I put these links in here. Excuse me, and I just I tap the link and it takes me to that part of the video. I don't know what button I pressed. That doesn't look right. Oh, that is right. Okay, so it just said Defender. I could slow it down. So here at the very opening of the game, to start off at the right place, what I normally do, let me go back. I'll go back even 10 seconds again. What I just realized like yesterday was that I can press and hold and navigate through the video like that. Otherwise it's just tapping on the left or tapping on the right. Here's a map. You know what I was thinking about yesterday? When I first ordered this game, there was a website called Gamefly, and it is like Netflix for video games. And it was just ordering or clicking on whatever title, and it would be mailed, and then send that one back and get a new one. This was the first one that I got, and the first map that I played was this map, but I wasn't defending this island, I was attacking. So the attacker's spawn is just above here on the other side of this hill, and there's a lot of videos of me. What I do, I still remember like the first, even though this happened over 10 years ago, I still remember I wasn't expecting a whole lot from this because it's Bad Company 2, and I didn't even think Bad Company 1 was that great. I didn't think any game would be better than GTA 4 from 2008. As far as fighting goes online. Anyways, I also have to put StarCraft 1 in there because it is a game where players can create their own video games, and that's part of it. It's not some kind of a lot of users of GTA, they create their own modifications and stuff, and that's different in StarCraft. It's supposed to be modded. It's like a part of the game, and it's supposed to be shared. The game has like, if I'm not mistaken, like 8 different games that come with it. One like StarCraft football, and different type of, like, this is rush mode, where one team defends the MCOM stations. The MCOM station is why all the green, orange, and blue that it can be seen, like on the radar and stuff. The MCOM stands for mobile communications, and so the whole reason that the player is able to see this, that leads to one of the MCOMs, or this one. That's just a notification pointing out which direction it is. Actually, that's the box right there, and the other box is over here. It's just a bit to the right because there's an arrow. There's also an arrow. Here is the squad information, and so I'm the first player to spawn in here. And you can see on the map, you can see where the MCOMs are, and it's just a very small island. So in real life, if I was trying to take this tiny island to destroy the enemy communications, to sabotage it, I would first divide it into 3 sectors. So of course it's just one section. It's the communication section holding the communication boxes, and then I would divide that into 3 sections. There's the one bottom section where the enemy spawns, and that's where I'm spawning. Here's sector, actually that would be sector 1, 2, and then 3 over here, because it's sort of like a math chart in quadrants. And the way that, like, pointing out the enemy, it would be like if I was a bump on a hill, or a bump on a log, or a fly on the wall right here with my binoculars, or my spectacles, or my whatever it's called. I'd say, okay, the enemy is in sector 1, where objective Bravo is right here. And so to shell it with artillery, if I was on this ship, say if I was on this ship right here, even though it's just a decoration, in the game it's just a decoration, I would be launching, I think they're called cruise missiles, and otherwise there's Hellfire missiles that come from the air. And so the first thing that I do in this, it happens so quickly, I'll probably just pause instead of changing the speed. The first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the one part of the island, right here, to this machine gun. I'm going to ignore this Black Hawk that's carrying 2 gunners. It's a transport helicopter. Down here is where the UAV computer station is. And this up here is called a tarp. That's a tarp for camouflage from the air. I'm looking right there. I just zoomed in right here to see, because normally someone jumps right on the UAV station, and here comes the UAV flying through the air, sending out Hellfire missile strikes. So let me go back again. So what happens is I ignore the Black Hawk helicopter, and then I just, like in the 33 strategies of war, one of them is to make the enemy come to you. So I just wait for him to come back around, and as he comes around, he goes right into my line of fire, and I'm aiming for them inside the helicopter. They all bail out, all 2 or 3 of them, however many there are. This happens really fast. I can hear that he's throwing grenades, and I can see that he had dropped out, and now it's similar to what happened on the beaches of Normandy in France, like a D-Day thing, but instead of having however many there were, it's just mano a mano, it's just one-on-one right here. So what my player does is he sneaks around like some kind of a hunter or something, like Rambo Commando type thing, and he jumps. Okay, so the guy is right here, and what my player does is he sneaks around this fence, drops behind him, and a lot of the things that I do in this game I've never had done to me before, ever. And what I do is I sneak up behind him, and I don't do anything. I just sit there, and I throw him a med kit, and those only function for friendly players. And what happens is in this game, enemy or friendly units can spawn on each other and just sort of appear on each other's back. And just before they spawn in, though, they can see if the guy's in danger or if it's a clear spot to spawn. And I know that his teammate can see that I'm behind him, but he can't tell him because most people don't have a communication. They're not talking to each other. And when he spawns in, he starts shooting his own player. He starts friendly fire on purpose. Normally, it's like busting into a house, looking for the enemy, and accidentally seeing your friendly unit and shooting just because you're just ready to, itchy trigger finger. In this case, I get the other player. I have to slow this video down. It happens too quickly. Or perhaps I'll just repeatedly repeat it. I'll just repeatedly repeat it. So I drop down behind him. I throw a med kit. I say, here's the med kit, and it goes right through him, and he can see it now. He can see it right here. Here's the guy that spawns, and he starts shooting his own unit. And I stick him with a knife, and then I stick the other guy with a knife because he realizes I was just gonna sit there. And then there's a sniper over here with a one-shot sniper, like a really heavy sniper. With one shot, he takes me out. But I also took him out. If you look closely, he has 0%. He has 12 times zoom, so he was looking really close. I was not. I have to go back 30 seconds. My sound is going out. Here's the guy spawns in friendly fire. He starts shooting his dude, and he's trying to notify him that I'm behind him. He's like, "There's a guy behind you." All right. But here is the real. There's like lots of leaves falling. Oh, I don't know what part. I think it's at the very end. I'm gonna skip through all that. I don't even know at what point that was. Here's my same character. Okay, so he has what's called a light machine gun. It's the PKM right here. So that's the same island that I was just at, and our team had fallen back. A lot of other players had joined. Here's the box that I hide behind for cover. So what happens is my character has a tank lobbing. So what's going to happen is enemy recon player is going to, with his binoculars, he's going to point out my specific location. And that's okay because I have cover. I have something to hide behind. And so right here I'm trying to have a shootout with a Black Hawk helicopter gunner. And I'm hitting them. The hit markers were there. And then that gets the attention of the recon. And so he points me out. And now the tank knows where I am. So it starts lobbing shells, tank shells at me too. And so because there's a little bit on the screen, that means that my player's losing health. So here's the tank shooting a machine gun and explosives at me, and I had just barely missed the sniper almost took my character out. That's my character taking out the sniper. And here's the Black Hawk when it gets taken out. And what happens in cases like this is, because I've heard people, I can hear how my own teammates react to stuff like this. They're like throwing their controllers down because I'm just a guy with nothing, and I got disconnected or abandoned from the server. So anyways, that's just a preview of a 6-hour video. So video over.